The Houston Apollos are back, fresh off of a first-round victory, a narrow victory over the Arizona Coyotes. We're ready for this cup run, this hopeful cup run to continue. That said, it could be the final run for this team. Again, I want your thoughts as to whether or not we should start a new series regardless of when this playoff run ends. And of course, if you missed it as well, I'm trying to gauge interest on upcoming videos that I want you guys to decide here. You're going to decide what we do first, if at all. Right here on Patreon, there is a pinned post that has a poll that includes said voting options. So for those of you who have already voted, hey, sweet, thank you. For those of you who have not, make sure to go do that. We have options for GM trade histories, redrafts, and a ton of potential franchise mode challenges right here on NHL 20. So let me know. It's been about 2 days or so since I've seen anyone vote on it. I know not everyone's voted on it, so let me know what you think. Make sure to take part in that. That said, this team, good to go, ready to continue. Again, as mentioned, we survived quite a scare. But you look at the roster, I mean, Mika Nermainen was fantastic. Byfield was solid as well. I mean, it's tough to complain about Byfield not scoring when his two wingers put up 5 goals each over the course of a 7-game series. So, can't really complain about that. Second line, Tyler Benson, the penalty minutes were out of control. Hopefully he can get that situated so we don't have to worry about it. Josh Waugh doing Josh Waugh things. Olli Kapanen was fantastic. Still can't believe New Jersey let him go. That third line stud is a monster on the power play, as he's been for season after season. Philip Deneau, pretty good. Calle Rensfeld, who would have thought he would have been that good. Then the fourth line, Perlini, Dawes, and Sarainen, all pretty solid. I mean, if anything, the biggest complaints I have is, Glebov and Heiskanen. But I mean, Glebov being a -1 is shocking, but it's not a big deal. Dumba and Hughes both at a +10. There's really nothing to be concerned about with this team. I mean, we threw Quinn Mullen in there because of the 3 straight losses. He gets a 5-0 shutout win. Askarov is going to be back between the pipes, but it's nice to know that Quinn Mullen can be relied upon if need be in a situation where, unfortunately, Askarov just isn't quite getting it done. We're on to round 2. Nashville awaits. It's Anaheim and Vegas on the other side. Let's take a look at what the Nashville Predators happen to look like at this stage of a series here in 2026. This is the team. Philip Forsberg still there with Matt Duchene and Ellie Tolvanen. Pretty good first line. Pretty well-rounded as well. Second line of Dylan Ginther, Philip Tomasino, and Matthew Savoy. So obviously the created options in Ginther and Savoy are extremely dangerous for me. And for us, really, in this series. Third line of Braden Shen, Devin Cheveldave, former #1 overall pick, and Nino Niederreiter. And a fourth line of Victor Arvidsson, Ryan Johansson, and Jakub Korobov. That is a ridiculous team. That center depth is absurd. That is going to be incredibly tough to beat. This defense, not amazing, but also pretty tough to beat. Dante Fabro and Ryan Ellis, Roman Yossi and Jake Sanderson, and a third pairing of Caden Goulet with Brennan Manel. The goaltender is Michael DiPietro, who had a .930 save percentage through 5 games, so really does kind of set the stage there. I don't know if we can expect to win. It's a very intense matchup here, though, against the Preds. They only won 45 games in the regular season, so you could argue, well, that's a solid record. They underperformed a bit, especially when you look here. They have a better offense. We do have a significantly better defense, although theirs isn't terrible. The goaltending, obviously, we're going to have a huge advantage there. It's tough to say whether or not it's actually that big of an advantage, but this could be an incredibly close series. We'll see how it goes. Round 2 underway. Game 1 on home ice in the first period. Oh my god, the first period. Savoy, Shen, Cheveldave, Ellis, 3 power play goals. 4-0 Nashville at the end of 20 minutes. Second period, we get a goal apiece, Nermainen and Savoy. And we're going to quick sim the third, where Nashville absolutely kicks us up and down the ice. 7-1, your final score. And that was worst case scenario by all measures. It was a 5-minute checking from behind penalty on Josh Waugh that really set the stage for us to struggle there. Not one of our more physical players, Waugh, but dishes out a bad check, and that just dug us a hole that we could not climb out of. I mean, let's be honest, it wasn't even a matter of not being able to climb out of it. We just kept falling further and further down. We're going to chalk that game up as a fluke. We'll keep the team for game 2. But if we lose both games on home ice, then you're going to... You know, the prevailing thought is that we're going to have to do something. Certainly can't afford to get embarrassed again. Couldn't afford to get embarrassed the first time. First period. Not as bad, but still trailing. Eli Tolvanen gets the opening goal. Second period, my goodness. Well, we're scoring goals. Waugh, Dawes, and Perlini, but they also scored 3. Genther, Duchesne, and Tolvanen. We trail 4-3. Heading into the third, some early power play time goes to waste there. We'll see what happens from here on out. I mean, if there was a team that could score goals, you'd think it would be ours, but we continue to waste power play opportunities, and Cheveldave makes it 5-3. Henridius gets it right back 9 seconds later. Cheveldave scores again. Askarov cannot make a stop. And Nashville will take the first 2 games of this series, scoring 13 goals in those 2 games. How are we going to win if our 88 overall goaltender cannot prevent 13 goals? And I mean, granted, he wasn't in. Mullen ended up being in, but you see the point here. Just our goaltending in general needs to be significantly better. And really no other way to view it right now. This team is absolutely choking. Absolutely choking. There's no in-between here. This is simply not good enough. So something's got to give. When it comes to the goaltending, I mean, it's got to be Quinn Mullen who gets the opportunity. Askarov save percentage has plummeted as of late. Defensively, tough to tell where to go here. Trouba Butcher really hasn't been that great. I want to keep Hastings and Glebov together for the +5. We'll switch everybody around. At the very least, I don't want to lose the pluses, so we'll just swap the wings and hope that that's enough to spark this team. I mean, as well, the penalty minutes. I mean, Tyler Benson, Josh Waugh, you're talking about members of that second line that cannot stay out of the box here. And it is costing us severely. We go to game 3. We desperately need the home team loses trend to be a thing right now. Otherwise, we are in a far from enviable situation. First period, for the first time in this series, we have a lead. Calle Rensfeldt gets the goal. Second period, oh goodness, we're tied at 3. We cannot get a stop. Genther, Duchesne, and Shen. Hughes and Byfield scored for us. Michael DiPietro is out-dueling our 2 goaltenders, despite our goaltenders having a much better defense score in front of them. Butcher gives us the lead. Extended power play time here for Nashville. My God, that might have been another major. I don't know how they didn't score. That was at least 5 minutes, if not more. 5 minutes remaining now here in the third period. Can we hold on for the win? The answer is yes. So it wasn't pretty, but we got it done. 4-3, your final score in Game 3. Like I said, we'd love to see another day, and you can see it here. It was a double minor high sticking call on Glebov. The penalty minutes right now are absolutely killing us. And because of that, we need to adjust ice time. We need to adjust ice time. Ice time, easy for me to say. I have no choice. I have no choice. I mean, Benson, do I leave Benson and Waugh the opportunity? Like, I love that line, but Benson and Waugh cannot stay out of the box. What the hell am I supposed to do? 20 penalty minutes in 10 games for Tyler Benson. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with him. I genuinely don't. I guess we'll leave the team as is. There's no reason, I guess, to change it up. Mullen will get the opportunity to start this next game because Askarov has absolutely choked away his starting, role, his spot, his opportunity to be our starter. We'll go into this fourth game super worried about penalties still, but we'll see how we do. First period, and Nashville strikes first, the lowest rated player on the team. Second period, I mean, we do tie it up. Power play goal for Kapanen. Dawes scores as well. Cheveldave scores again for the Preds, so we're tied at 2. Anybody's game here, and this is where this team can prove whether or not they're championship contenders. This is it right here. We killed off that penalty, and then Philip Deneau gets the goal. But do we have what it takes from here is the question. We don't. Cheveldave ties it, and Nurminen scores. Now 4-3, make it 5-3. Mikko Nurminen, 2 goals in under a minute, as the home team has yet to win through the first 4 games. We tie this series up at 2 apiece, so anybody's series from this point on, outscoring them 9-6. Not as convincing, but we get the job done. Both series in the West and both series in the East, exactly the same. As we're going to go make sure that Mullen's in again. I mean, he's given us a chance to win. He wasn't perfect in relief for Askarov, but we're going to see what one Quinn Mullen can do, and if he can continue to play at that high of a level. Benson took another penalty in that damn game. I mean, if we survive this, serious questions are there as to whether or not Tyler Benson should be dropped to the 4th line. I mean, his offensive touch is almost irreplaceable, but we could just have him as a power play specialist and just bury him in the bottom 6 because he can't be trusted to be out there. First period of Game 5 is scoreless. We outshot them. Doesn't mean anything, though. Second period, also scoreless. Still outshooting them. 23 shots to 13. Our offense just can't find a way to break through. Can't get a goal past Michael DiPietro until now. Josh Waugh makes it 1-0. Of course, 80 overall. Michael DiPietro is standing on his head at this stage. Halfway through the third now. Can we get that insurance goal, or can Quinn Mullen shut the door to give us our 3rd straight win in this series? We can't get the insurance goal, but Quinn Mullen shuts the door. 24 save shutout for him. DiPietro the first star. Josh Waugh the lone goal, yet the winning goal. As Glebov fought Braden Shen in the first period, and from there, no further penalties, and that was crucial to our success. So 3 unanswered wins. We head back to Nashville for Game 6, a chance to end the series on the line. As the AHL team moves on to the conference final, they'll play the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins. Let's see what happens. Just got to make sure that Quinn Mullen's in, and aside from that, we're not going to make any changes. We've won 3 in a row. Still worried about potential penalties, but the team was much better on that attempt. Quinn Mullen rocking a .937, which is 1 loss through 5 appearances. Let's see what we have. Let's do this first period of Game 6. Can we make it 4 in a row and punch our ticket to the conference final? The first period is scoreless. Shots were close. Second period, also scoreless. The shots still incredibly close. So this is anybody's game here. Can we get the job done? Can we win this right here and right now? Can we hold on? Halfway through the third, we need a goal here, please. Extended power play time goes to waste, and Nashville scores in the aftermath. Dante Fabro. Under 5 minutes left. Will the Predators force Game 7? The answer is yes. 1-0 shutout victory, this time for the Preds. And that sets the stage for Game 7, the second Game 7 in a row. Inexcusable for this offense to be shut out by an 80 overall goaltender. Washington and Toronto play in the Eastern Conference Final. Question is, will we be making it to the West, or is it Nashville? And really, I don't know what to do with this team right now. I simply do not know what to do with this team right now. Do I risk losing the line chemistry boosts? That's the question. Do we risk losing the line chemistry? And to be honest, I think the answer is yes. Because I don't have much faith in the line chemistry doing all that much for us. So it's a risk, but we are going to go with Glebov, Butcher. Dumble will be with Hughes. Heiskanen will be with Trouba. Forward-wise, you're going to see some drastic changes here, but you know what? I'm willing to risk it because something needs to change. We need more of a spark. So Matty Sarainen certainly in danger of staying on a lower line. Philip Deneau is going to be demoted. And Tyler Benson, I'm sorry, but just far, far too many. Oh my God, the menu lag. Far, far too many penalties for Tyler Benson. We'll rework that bottom six in a moment. But simply put, something has to be done. Josh Waugh, we're going to drop him as well because of the penalty minutes. Really no other choice in my mind. And then in terms of who else gets dropped, it's tough to say. I mean, Stud certainly deserves to be on a higher line. 3 points there for Perlini. I think he's the guy to drop back down into the bottom six. These line chemistries might not work out in my favor. Call it a hunch. Because Waugh really doesn't fit into the bottom six. Perlini fits in well on the fourth line. Deneau's better on the third line, as is Benson. That's going to be the way to do it right there. So we're going to have Rensfeld, Waugh, and Benson in that third line spot. And in the fourth line will be Sarainen, Deneau, Perlini. So basically Dawes swaps places with Philip Deneau. And now here on this line, again, we're certainly not going to have the chemistry. Kapanen can play anywhere. Tough call for that second line. Very tough call for that second line. Byfield's going to be dropped. I just don't know how we're going to do it. So Minen has to play the first line. It's got to be Byfield, and then who goes up to that top line? I don't really see how we pull this off. Not have negative chemistry there. So say we put Kapanen, and we do this. That did not work. What about this? I'm trying to avoid negatives, if at all possible, for this incredibly risky strategy. And there we go. We found our answer. So it is going to be Stud, Dawes, and Henridius. From the looks of it, Henridius was slightly better as a center, but I'm not too concerned. And Minen will be with Byfield and Kapanen. Just trying to throw something at the wall to see what the hell sticks. And at the end of the day, it's still got to be Quinn Mullen. I want to go with Askarov, because why would you not trust the 88 overall goalie to get the job done? We're going to go with the players who have played the best and who give us the best shot to win. It's Game 7. Will the risks pay off? Let's find out as we throw something completely different at the wall to see if anything sticks. First period, and it's a damn good start. Philip Deneau and Posse Henridius. Second period, scoreline holds. We go to the third, up by 2. Can we hold on is the question. Do we have enough to hold on in this situation? Power play chance here goes to waste, but we hit the halfway point of the period. Can we hold on here? One more power play opportunity, still goes to waste. 5 minutes remaining. The Houston Apollos win another Game 7, 3-0 over the Nashville Predators, and we do, in fact, punch our ticket to the third round. Conference Finals on our go. Quinn Mullen, Mr. Game 7, ice in his veins. Anaheim and Houston in the conference final in the next episode. We dodge yet another bullet.